Bitcoin is getting ready here for the next leg to the upside, and I will show you one of my entries that you can still take to be not left behind on this move. And of course, we also talk about Ethereum and Solana. If you think that's interesting, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, like this video, and also activate the bell so that you will never miss out on these money-making videos, because in the last couple of weeks we were pretty profitable here. And now let's actually get into it. Let me start off with the ETF inflows, because something starts to pick up here again, and that is the ETFs ramping up their buying bits again. So you can see it here over the last, so here on Friday, actually, last week Friday, ETFs inflows were again positive, and also on yesterday's evening we were again positive here, and I expect something similar again today. And you see also Grayscale is selling less and less. I told you the time will come where there are less and less selling from Grayscale. One contributor for that is of course that Grayscale now has their other ETF product, and says that people that are in Grayscale shares can, without any fees, move over to the other ETF product that they have, which has, how to say that again, competitive fees compared to the other ETF providers. Sorry, sometimes some words are slipping my mind, you know, that I want to express here. Why am I so bullish right now on Bitcoin while we are going here a little bit down, since we created here a local high at $67,273? I think this morning, yesterday, yeah, it was technically in my night when it happened. So let me tell you what is happening here, or what was happening here now that made me so bullish. So I'm here on a 30 minutes chart, but I can go to a higher time frame. It doesn't really matter. What you can see is, since the recent high here at $73,000 approximately, we had a downwards trend where we created lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, more lower highs, and here the final lower high. And afterwards, when we had our capitulation here to the downside, the final one, we started a new uptrend. And now we have done something really significantly between yesterday and today, and that was that we have the resistance of, let me actually remove this here, the resistance that was the horizontal resistance that was holding us down from this lower high here, and also here, basically from where we got the breakdown, and then here the retest to confirm that this is resistance. We broke above it, and when we broke above it, we moved higher than this previous local high and created a local higher high. So, and that tells me that there is a shift in the market structure again for Bitcoin to the upside. So now, of course, you can argue that for the moment we are seeing a rejection because we go to the downside. But remember that I told you yesterday that I was not happy with the 4-hourly chart, how things were looking at this chart. So this downwards move here basically led by the 4-hour chart here, because for our chart, the indicators, they want to cool down, and price action is following suit. But once we are breaking here, this downward sloping trend line, let me actually make this line here white again. This will give you a new entry for a Bitcoin long opportunity if you're not already in one. Or the next area that I would be looking at, if we get it, anything here in that zone is a good long entry. So here is another good area where you can long it from, or buy spot, whatever you want to do, you know. So if you want to long it, then I would long, so this is from $65,700 to $66,000 approximately. Let's say you get $65,860, and my target would be here around $69,400, basically the prior all-time high. So that is a 5.4% move. Now, if you trade this with 20x leverage, that is 108% that you make on this move. If you want to play it more safe, then you wait for a break of this downward sloping trend line. And again, no, actually the safest entry would be a break of the line here at $66,400. So here is how you play it the safest way possible. The safest way possible is that you wait, that we're first breaking the downward sloping trend line, then go above $66,400, wait for a retest of that level potentially again, and then on the move up here, when we're breaking above $66,600, that is where you enter, and you put your stop loss at, I would put it at around here at 65,900. That would be my stop loss. If we look here at the risk to reward ratio, you will see that this is definitely okay as a trade to take, because you have a risk to reward ratio of 1 to 4. You have 1% more or less of a stop loss. With 20x leverage, it would be 20%, but 86% of potential gains here to the upside. So again, when you look at statistics, that trade would make sense to me, hence why I'm already in it. So, but I admit I jumped a little bit again too early the gun here. I was earlier a little bit in a profit on this trade. Now I'm again a little bit underwater. I will show it to you in a moment. But first, let's talk about some other things here. Something else that told me that the structure in Bitcoin is shifting is this downward sloping trend line was broken here. But now you see that the price action came back under it again. So now what I want to see is a reclaim and then a move back to the upside. If we're not getting this and we are breaking here this green box, I will then go and close the Bitcoin trade that I have right now. So if we fall under 65,000, let it be $600. If we or $500. If we fall below that, I'm going to close my position. Now, when we go to the daily chart, on the daily chart, something that I want to point out, remember the chart from yesterday. First of all, everything points to what I said yesterday, that we are getting here a fake out on the moving averages. And if you look here at these downward sloping trend lines on the support and at the resistance, we have here a massive bull flag. I'm going to show you the target of that one here. So once this is breaking out, let's make it conservative. That is giving us a target of $93,815. So do I believe that this is happening tomorrow? Definitely not, you know. So this will take a couple of weeks, maybe even months to develop. So, but I could imagine at some time here by the end of the summer, early autumn, this could actually play out. But what we're going to see in the meantime is that if we get a break here, let's say by next week, in the first week of May, a break above the flag, most likely we're going to see here gradual consolidation with impulse movers to the upside, with new consolidation, and go up something like this into the target. So maybe also some flush outs, you know, on the way up. So this is just an illustration, you know. So, but something like this before we actually hit the target, you know, is most likely going to happen here, because every summer we have the same issue. I can only recall 2016 where it was different. This was because of the Bitcoin halving happening in the middle of the summer, where crypto was going up. And in 2020 also the same, you know, again, around the halving, prices picked up in August, but this is more or less also the end of the summer already, you know, when we are in August. So, but these were the only two instances where crypto were actually massively running. And all the other years, as far as I can remember, we always had like a summer hole where basically Bitcoin was doing nothing, you know, and it was just chopping sideways in a range for the whole summer. So, and I don't think that this year will be any different, you know. So, but yes, will we get here a new range where we will bounce up and down in between? Most likely. And I think this new range will be somewhere between 72 78 and 83,000 somewhere. So this is most likely the range that we will have over the summer before we see another move here in the direction of $100,000. Now here on the 4-hourly chart, I can go now a little bit deeper into it, why we are going down here. So here, first of all, also want to point out the moving averages still pointing to a scenario where we are getting here soon a golden cross within potentially tomorrow evening, UTC time, which is of course bullish for us. But for this to be happening, the Bitcoin price needs to stay above the 200 moving average at $65,900 approximately, and not drop to the 50 moving average down here to $65,000. That's what we don't want to see. We see here over the last 4 hours-ish that Bitcoin is holding a range, a really tight range of $65,950 to $66,300 approximately. I want this to continue for another 4 hours because then we completely bottomed out here on the stochastic and can continue to move it to the upside because the RSI is already ready to go to the upside. And here on the MACD, I just want to see the signal line bouncing off the trend line and seeing here more darker green candles on the MACD, which would mean that we have more buying momentum coming back here on this 4-hourly chart. When we are looking at the liquidation heat map, nothing has really changed here, so even if I go here to 24 hours. So here the imminent level for Bitcoin to move up to take out some long liquidity would be $67,360 approximately. And then the next one would be here at 68. To the downside, we could see a flush here to like $65,400. But I think from there we would come really quick up again. So once we grab that liquidity, move to the upside. If we take it out, if we're not taking it out, then we go straight up and leave all of that liquidity behind. So here, liquidation levels. Here you see another reason why we could get a really quick flush to the downside. I actually did not see this before I started recording here. And that is all these over-leveraged longs in this box here between $63,770 and $65,500. But you see there is some spread in between, so normally it's pretty dense. Now there is a spread in between. So that means we don't have to go that low, So what could happen, because here's some support, that we go here to 65,200 and from there bounce back up. So and that's now I actually changed my mind. I'm going to keep my position open. I will not close it because I want to see what's happening if we go to 65,200. There is a high chance, because like I said, there is some support here that should hold on that retest and we should get a bounce back to the upside. So if we fall through that, then we have also with the structure again a problem. But I believe this is going to hold. On the 1-hourly chart, so here you basically have now your reason, so from the 4-hourly chart to the 1-hourly chart. And here on the 1-hourly chart, first of all, the indicators all pointing to more upside. And here, the level that I just pointed out, the $65,200 level, is here that support zone that I had marked out here on the 1-hourly. So I don't believe that this is breaking if we come back down here. We get maybe a brief retest, something like this, and bounce straight back here to the upside and go to $68,000 into the resistance that is sitting above us. When it comes to indicators, the only thing that I want to see is that the RSI reclaims the 50% level, goes above that line here again. The stochastic is already heavily oversold here and flatlining, and the MACD prints really small red candles here. So there's also not a lot of selling pressure on the 1-hourly chart, even though we are printing here red candles, So look, for example, at something like this here or over here, So these candles, they are much bigger than the ones that we have over here right now. So that's just showing you there is not a lot of momentum on the seller side right now. And guys, don't forget, if you want to trade anywhere, trade with me on BYBIT. You still get $30,000 in deposit bonuses. Also on Margex, that you can trade without any KYC. And if you cannot use BYBIT, then use BITGET or Phemex, especially if you are in the UK or in the US. So on Phemex, you still get up to $17,000. And all these links are in the pinned comment below or in the description of this video. And I have my graphic designers preparing something really, really special that I want to share with you guys, but I cannot do it right now, so I have to bite my tongue here. But there's something really, really amazing coming for all of you guys. So I will not have so much from that, but you guys, you're gonna enjoy that, because it's time to get you ready for the bull run and to help some of you guys to achieve that. So, and once everything is ready, I'm going to present it to you, and I'm sure you're gonna love it. So make sure that you have your notifications also on here on this channel, because once I'm putting out that video, when my designers are ready, you don't want to miss out on that. So now let's talk about some of my trades here. So my fetch trade is still doing well. The SNX trade, again, a little bit underwater, but yeah, that's fine for me, because I know this is going to turn positive here in a matter of days. And when we go to BYBIT, so yeah, like I said, my Bitcoin trade is a little bit underwater. I have here almost 1 Bitcoin on the line here. My DYDX trade in profit. You see, overall, I'm in profit, so I'm not really concerned. The only trade that's not doing well at all is actually TON, and I'm quite surprised that this is the case. But it's fine also here, so I'm a patient guy. I can wait, so this is also definitely at some point turning around, so, but otherwise overall I'm still massively in profit here. When we go to the Bitcoin dominance, here we see something that I also pointed out. The dominance is fighting with the 55% level to stay above that. Now on a day where we go a little bit down, I'm not really surprised about this, that the dominance goes up. What would be better is that the dominance is falling while Bitcoin is falling, and that means the money is going into altcoins. So, but this is not what we are seeing today. Overall, the market is red, but this is not a big issue. We are not dropping like crazy. My trades overall, as you can see, they are still all profitable. So for now, nothing to worry about. We need to start worrying about the dominance when we are breaking this downward sloping trend line. But until then, so we will know by tomorrow. Tomorrow, if we either here shift sideways out of it, or if we break further down. Even if we move sideways out of it, as long as Bitcoin is not having a massive pump here in direction of 69, 70K, I believe that the dominance could actually fall again under 55%, and then we only get a retest when we are then moving in direction of 70K and above that. Now, when we talk about Ethereum, Ethereum is of course also moving to the downside because of Bitcoin. So, but also here, I want to show you something, how you can trade easily Ethereum every single time. Look here, we had here downward sloping trend line, broke to the upside. Downward sloping trend line, moved to the upside. Here now again, downward sloping trend line, a break to the upside will be happening really, really soon here on the 1 hourly chart. Something else that I want to show you, what maybe a lot of you guys don't know. This has something to do with market momentum. When you see a downward sloping trend line and you see the price breaking to the upside, and you see over and over a repeating pattern, like downward sloping trend line break to the upside, and these breakouts getting smaller and smaller, that is telling you that the momentum is fading out and that we are basically losing momentum here to the upsides. And this is what we are seeing here right now on the shorter time frames for Ethereum. Because look here, we got a breakout to the upside, 4.66%. We got another one, 2.71%. So the next one might be only 1.8 or 2%. Here, 1.9. That makes sense because here is a resistance. And then we turn back down to the downside, unless we are breaking this really, really violently with a big candle here to the upside, so then that would be invalidated. If this is not happening and we are getting rejected from here, expect Ethereum to come back to $3,100. So we need here a massive breakout to the upside to invalidate this. and to see here bulls stepping in. So one reason for that we are not seeing this right now is, of course, the volume traded areas here. They give us heavy resistance. And the other contributor is that Bitcoin is going down, of course, so that's also not really helping. Here on the daily chart, we are also under massive resistance right now from $3,200 to $3,360. So and only when we are starting to break above that, we're going to see a massive rally in Ethereum. But here also on the indicators, we're not looking all too bad, and we just got a breakout out of this falling wedge. So overall, I'm still bullish here on Ethereum over the next couple days and weeks. Now a quick look on Solana. Let me remove here the bump and run explanation. So we got actually a break above $155. So if you would have entered, like I said, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You are just $1 or $2 underwater. So that's a percent, 1.3%, something like that. If you did not leverage like a degenerate with 50x leverage, you are fine, so just hold your position. Here's what I would do now. If you listen to me and you're in a position right now, if we lose for whatever reason this line here and close a 4-hourly candle below that under $152, 4-hourly candle, guys, only if we close, I want to see a 12-hourly candle below that. So if we close a 12-hourly candle below that line, you can close your position, so your stop loss should be somewhere here, like 148, 149, something like this. In that area should be your stop loss, not lower than that, because the lower time frames, they all want to go up again, so 50 minutes not right now, 30 minutes also not, but the 1-hourly ones want to go up, and give the 15 minutes here another hour, and this also wants to go back up. And here on the 30 minutes, what you're going to see is that Solana will do something like this at the same time. So as long as we are not going under $152, there's no concern for me on Solana for the time being, So and if you're looking for a new position, if you were not able to catch one, then I would wait again for a break above $155, 1-hourly candle close above that, then you enter this when we go and then continuously to the upside once we broke this level. And that's it already for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again tomorrow.